Hello, welcome to my channel Casey Bao. This is your teacher Casey, and today we are going to be looking at Biology 2021 Internal Paper 1 Multiple Choice. Question number 1. Which of the following are characteristics of all living things? Which one of the following are characteristics of all living things? So what happens in all living things? The answer is C, excretion and nutrition. Question number 2. The following diagram shows a detailed structure of an animal cell. Which of the labeled parts modifies and transports proteins from the site of synthesis to the site of reactions? So that's the Golgi apparatus right here, the Golgi bodies. So our answer is B, the Golgi bodies transports the proteins from the site of synthesis to the site of reaction. Question number 3. The diagram shows an experiment conducted by a learner. Start of an experiment, as we can see the start of an experiment right here, and the end of the experiment after 12 hours. What is the correct explanation to what happened to the Vaskin tubing after 12 hours? The Vaskin tubing A becomes smaller because it is porous. No. Lost water due to evaporation. No. Evaporation. No. Shrunk because salt solution moved out. Yes, that's the correct one. So here we see that it shrunk because the water molecules, we see the Vaskin tubing. The Vaskin tubing here contains distilled water. The Vaskin tubing contains distilled water, and we see the outside solution is a salt solution. So here the distilled water moves out. It moves out from the Vaskin tubing so that it can dilute the salt concentration. So here the answer is D. It shrunk because the water moved out of it. Question number 4. The table shows the condition in 4 test tubes containing equal amount of starch and salivary amylase. In which test tube would the starch be broken down fastest? So we have A there, a pH of 2 and 27, B a pH of 2, 37 and a temperature of 37, C we have a pH of 7, that's neutral, and a temperature of 27, D we have a pH of 7 and a temperature of 37. So our answer here, since it's starch, we'll be looking for the highest temperature, that's 37 degrees, and we'll look for the neutral temperature. So our answer is D. Question number 5. 4 food samples were tested for each of the following nutrients: fat using ethanol, proteins using burette, reducing sugars using Benedict solution. Which food sample contains proteins and reducing sugars? So here we are looking for a food sample which contains protein and reducing sugars. So for proteins, the the Benedict reagent turns purple, and for reducing sugars it has to turn red or brick red. So here we'll look for the one which is ticked both on purple and brick red, and there our answer will be B. So we are looking for the one which contains proteins and reducing sugars. So our answer there is B. 6. A child is fed on beef, oily fish, cheese and water only. Which nutrient will be in low levels in the diet? So here the answer will be iron, because we don't have liver, and liver is rich in iron. Which of the following plant nutrients is essential for germination of pollen grains and growth of pollen tubes? Here our answer is, here there is A, boron, B, calcium, C, iron, D, zinc. So here our answer is boron. Boron is responsible for the germination of pollen grains and the growth of pollen tubes. Yeah, our answer is A. Question number 8. The following figure shows a dramatic summary of the main event in photosynthesis. So here we see here this diagram is showing us about photosynthesis. So here our answer will be C. Name the process X, reactant Y, and product Z. So here the process which is happening there is photolysis, the splitting of hydrogen and oxygen. Here this is when with the use of the light helps to split the oxygen and the hydrogen. That's what is called the light reaction. And the reactant Z here, oxygen combines with hydrogen combines with carbon dioxide, and after it combines with carbon dioxide we get glucose. Don't be fooled here, it's not starch, because starch is actually stored glucose. So here the product is glucose. That's why we have answered C. Question number 9. The diagram shows the structure of bread mold, rhizopus. Which part releases digestive enzyme? Here the answer is Z. None other than D. This part is where the digestive enzymes are produced, since here the rhizopus it gets its food externally from decaying bodies, hence digestive juices are released to break down the complex molecules to smaller ones so that they can be absorbed. So the part here is D. D produces the digestive enzymes. Question number 10. Which of the following is a dental formula of a dog? So here the dental formula of a dog is D, because in a dog the dog doesn't have equal molar teeth in the upper and in the lower jaw. So there are more molar teeth in the lower jaw of the dog. So hence our answer there is D. The diagram shows the human alimentary canal. Question number 11. In which of the labeled parts does peristalsis take place? So peristalsis is the rhythmic contraction of the alimentary canal. So which parts contract so that the food can go through. So here the parts that contract and relax, here we have the esophagus. So for the food to pass in the esophagus, there is the peristalsis takes place. That means the muscles of the esophagus contract and relax at the same time at different times, and the food hence goes down to the stomach. And here also the small intestines peristalsis takes place. So here the answer is 3 and 4. So where is 3 and 4? It's here on C. Question number 12. Which of the following chemicals from cigarette smoke reduces the amount of oxygen carried in blood? So here we have carbon monoxide, nicotine, sulfur dioxide, tar. The answer here is carbon monoxide. The diagram shows apparatus set up to investigate the production of carbon dioxide during respiration in insects. So this is the apparatus. We can see right here air is blown in this pipe. Then we have sodium hydrogen solution. That means it absorbs all the carbon dioxide from this air. Then here the air goes up without carbon dioxide. So here we only have oxygen and these other gases, and the air comes here. So here there's lime water, and lime water is an identity test for carbon dioxide. Lime water turns milky when carbon dioxide is present, but remains clear when carbon dioxide is absent. So here we have lime water. So we can see that all the carbon dioxide was absorbed in this part. So here we are not expecting any carbon dioxide to be in here, and hence here the lime water remain clear. So then here we still have air going up in this other tube without carbon dioxide. Then we have these grasshoppers or insects. We have these insects in this test tube. So when the insects breathe in the oxygen, they will breathe out carbon dioxide. So they'll use the oxygen for the respiration, and they'll breathe out carbon dioxide. So here this is when we have the carbon dioxide going out in this air, in this tube, to this test tube Y. So here in test tube Y, we will expect this lime water to turn cloudy because the insects here have produced the carbon dioxide, and hence here it will turn cloudy. So here the question is, what changes would occur to the lime water in tube X and Y 5 minutes after they set up the apparatus? So here X, we said here, since there is no carbon dioxide, it will remain, there will be no change to the lime water. But here in Y, since the insects have produced carbon dioxide from respiration, the lime water would change to cloudy. So here our answer is C. No change at X and cloudy at tube Y. Question number 14. Which of the following is not a safe practice against HIV and AIDS? A. Abstinence, consistence and correct use of condoms. B. C. Use of contraceptive pills. D. Voluntary counseling and testing. So which one is not here? So here the answer is C. Use of contraceptive pills is not a safe practice against HIV, because if you use them you can still contract HIV. So there the answer is C, question number 14. Question number 15. The diagram shows a sketch of the uptake of water by a plant. The diagram shows a sketch of the uptake of water by a plant. What processes are represented by the arrows numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4? So here they want us to identify the processes being taken here. What processes is the water? By which process is the water being taken? Here at 1, at 2, at 3, and at 4. So here at 1 we have osmosis. So here we have osmosis because the water is being taken up by the roots by osmosis. At 2 we have transpiration pool. At 3 we are going to have diffusion or osmosis at 3 and diffusion at 4. So that's the answer. 15 we have C. 16. Which of the following donors would safely donate blood to a patient with blood group O? A person with blood group. So who will donate to a patient with blood group O? So here the only person who donates blood to a person with blood group O is a person with blood group O, because there is no antigens in blood group O. Hence the person with blood group O is able to donate to the other person with blood group O. So here the answer is 16. The answer is D. 17. The diagram shows a longitudinal section through a human heart. What chambers X and Y and blood group Z? What are the chambers X and Y and blood group Z? And the blood vessel Z. So here X, Y, and Z. So here X will have the left atrium, Y will have the right ventricle, and here we have the pulmonary vein. So our answer there is C. The diagram shows a kidney and its blood vessel. Question number 18. What is the name of the part labeled X? So here we are looking at this part. What's this part in a kidney? So here our answer will be, here there will be A, cortex, B, medulla, C, pelvis, D, urethra. So this is the cortex A. Question number 19. The diagram shows a human skin. What is the name of the structure labeled X? So here the structure labeled X here, what's the name of this structure? This is none other than the sweat gland. So the answer here is D, sweat gland. Compared to a hormone, a nerve impulse generally has, compared to a hormone, so a nerve impulse has, so here a nerve impulse, we are looking at a nerve impulse. Does it have a long lasting response? No. Usually a nerve impulse is just instantly and there. Does it have a widespread response? No. It usually affects a specific post, a specific spot, so it doesn't spread a widespread response. No. So here does it have a fast response? Yeah. The moment for example you touch a hot surface, you remove your hand out from that hot surface, hence it has a fast response compared to a hormone. A hormone is usually slow because the hormone has to be produced by a gland, and it has to be transported through the bloodstream, so hence a nerve impulse is faster than a hormone. So our answer here is B. Question number 21. A girl accidentally touches a very hot object and immediately pulls her hand away. In which reflex action? In this reflex action, what is the effector? So what is being affected here? So the effector is the muscle in her arm. So the muscle in her arm is because she touches, so she touches there with her hand, and hence the muscle in her arm will be affected. It will be very hot and sometimes even swelling. See here, the roots are going down. The roots are going down here, and the shoot is going up. So here, so we can say the roots are actually, the roots we can say are positive geotropism, and the shoot is negative. Since the roots are going towards the gravity and the roots are negative, are going away from the gravity, so that's our answer for there. We will continue on 27. Which of the following methods of asexual reproduction are unique to amoeba, yeast, and fungi? So here our answer for this is A. Binary fusion for amoeba. Yeast we have budding, and fungi we have spore formation. 28. Name the following vegetative structures labeled X, Y, and Z. So X here, on X we have this is a bulb, which is commonly for onions, and this is a rhizome, Y, which these are horizontal stems for ginger, and this is tuber, which are commonly and sweet potatoes. So our answer there is B. 29. The diagram shows a process in plant reproduction. What process is represented by the letter X? So we can see here that this is the anther containing pollens, and we can see the pollens are going to the stigma. So on A we have fertilization, B fruit dispersal, C pollination, D seed dispersal. So we are looking what is this process, what process is taking place when the pollens come out from the anther to the stigma. So here so our answer here will be pollination. Remember, pollination is the removal of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma. So here don't be fooled with fertilization. Our answer is C. 30. What mode of dispersal is illustrated in the diagram? Here we can see that the fruit has bursted and its seeds have come out. So here it's self. 31. Which root does an fertilized ovum follow through the female reproductive system after it has been released from the ovary? So here we are talking about when the egg is released and it is not fertilized, so it will pass through the oviduct, then it will go in the ureters, then after the ureters it will go out through the vagina, or what we call the menstruation cycle. So our answer is A. 31. 32. The diagram shows a side view of a male and female reproductive system. Which two parts are cut and tied during the procedure called tubal ligation and vasectomy? So here our answer, the parts that are tied here are 2. Of course here 2 is tied, not 1. So here the sperm duct is tied, and in female during tubal ligation the oviduct are tied, or the fallopian tubes are tied. So here our answer is C. 2 and 3. Which of the following correctly identifies examples of continuous variation? So continuous variation, we have in humans, that's height and color of eyes, discontinuous variation. What stage of mitosis illustrated in the diagram? What stage of mitosis is illustrated in the diagram? Here this is the metaphase. The diagram shows a pedigree in which some members of the family have hemophilia. Which person is a carrier for hemophilia? So here the carrier, remember the carriers are always females. So here we'll be looking for a female. We have been given males are having a box. So here, we'll remove all males. So here we have a male, here we have a male, a hemophilic male, here we have a male, we have a male here, a normal male, no hemophilia. So here our carrier is B, the woman. And remember, always the carriers are always the female. So here is B. 37. Which of the following types of soil has the highest distribution of earthworm? A. Clay soil, B. Loam soil, C. Sand soil, D. Silt soil. So here it is B, loam soil. The diagram shows a pyramid of biomass for organisms in a ecosystem. Which organisms are carnivore? So here this is a biomass. So this table is totally showing on the mass or the weight of the organisms in an ecological system. So here we have S. So we have S. These are obviously the producers. When we put together all the weight of the producers, they have the largest weight. Of course, these are trees. When we put together all the trees, they overweigh everything in an ecological system. R. These are the primary consumers, those which feed from the producers directly. And of course these have the second mass. And here we have carnivores, or we have secondary consumers, those that feed on the primary consumers. And P, we have the tertiary consumers, those which feed on the secondary consumers. Example are eagles, owls, and of course here we find those which are on top of the food chain. So here which one are carnivores? Of course, carnivores are those which feed on other animals. So here we have P are carnivores and Q. So here our answer will be P and Q. That's A. 38. Rabbits are primary consumers. The following figure shows changes in the population of rabbits after a small number was released on an island where none had previously lived. What stage shows when the birth rate was equal to the death rate? So when the birth rate is equal to the death rate, we don't see an increase or we don't see a decrease in the population, because when one organism dies, another replaces. So we have a constant population. So we don't expect an increase or a decrease in any way. So here our answer is C. 39. The diagram shows part of the carbon cycle. Which letter represents photosynthesis? So the carbon cycle. Photosynthesis, although we know it, this is the way plants make their own food by obtaining carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So here the carbon dioxide is in the air or in the atmosphere. So we look for the air for the arrow that is going to plants. So here we have C. As we can see, the carbon dioxide is being used by the plant for photosynthesis. So our answer there is C. 40. Which effect is likely to occur as a result of deforestation? So when we cut down trees, what is likely not to happen? A decrease in biodiversity. B, an increase in soil erosion. C, an increase in the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. D, an increase in risk of flooding. So here our answer is D, because this is list, it's just list, but of course when you cut trees there's flooding, but it will be the least, since not all areas have rivers or water bodies for flooding. So the answer there is D. We have come to the end of today's program. Make sure you like and subscribe for more